Beyer says land reform should involve the discussions on the future of Namibia's agricultural production and its farmers. He says that most discussions around the issue of land reform are only based on land ownership, which is a political element of the discussions, while there are other aspects such as social, economic, and agriculture. Beyer explains that production reform has access to developing the existing markets with new products for consumers on an affordable price.
We should be thinking about where are we going with agriculture in the future, not trying to rehabilitate only farming practices of the last 50 years and changing it from a white farmer to a black farmer. But what is the future for those new farmers 20 years from now, 30 years from now? If we're not changing the way we are producing in agriculture, then we are dooming all these new farmers to a life of hardship and poverty as well, and our agricultural sector will suffer. So when we talk about land reform, almost the most important part should be the agricultural reform.
The expert adds that urban land reform is another issue that should be addressed.
Even if we say we're changing the complexion of land ownership on those 4,000 farms, if you want to be fair, we're really talking about 4,000 new farmers. That is all. But when we're talking about the urban areas, we're talking about 200,000 households rather than 4,000 households. And so when we talk about poverty alleviation and land reform, much more focus should go into urban reform and the subject of what we're talking about, urban infrastructure, urban services, because that has the capacity to impact a far higher number of people much more meaningfully, and at the end of the day contribute to our sort of economic and social development in a much more fundamental way.
On the issue of ancestral land claims and land restitutions, Beyer says the issue should be approached in a meaningful and peaceful manner. He said that communities should understand what it means and the consequences associated with it. Julana Fuka, NBC News, Windhoek.